Hey guys, welcome back to Let's Play Legend of Dragoon. And last time we got all the way here and I feared another glitch, so I made sure I made a proper save file, loaded up that save file with the other BIOS, the PAL BIOS, made a save state, loaded said save state in North American version of the BIOS, and ta-da, it works. But before we head in there to confront Lloyd, let's go over our setup real quick. Actually, I don't want that. Why is that still on there? I forgot to switch my stuff around. Therapy ring. And Meru, you have a physical ring. That'll work. Okay, so basically same strategies I've had in times past. Equip the character with the least amount of HP with HP boosting gear, give Albert a bandit's ring, and in this case, Dart can have a therapy ring. Basically, just anything to keep his HP higher. We won't be using Dragoons in this fight, so therapy rings are actually useful, unlike, the previous boss, so that is, I guess, that. Yeah, that's pretty much all we can do. She's got the dancer shoes, so make sure if you have a female in your party to always equip those. Those are extremely useful. And let's just show you where my additions are at. I did go back off screen, so that's something I should note. And I did finish off Gust of Wind Dance. I also finished off, oh no, I showed that, didn't I? Yeah, I did show that. Okay. Anyway, I went back and what did I do? Did I already mention that? Anyway, oh no, I did already mention that. Screw it. I'm too lazy to re-record that. Me bubbling around forgetting what I've done and what I haven't done. Oh, that's just sad. Anyway, let's confront Lloyd and forget that I screwed up. I'm already running short on time. Well, not for the video, but running short on time left in the day. Apparently she cooperated. Even though he seemed to have a magic ability to read her mind and then teleport both of them here. What is that thing, anyway? That thing floating around above Lloyd, what is that? Lloyd, you got some fancy armor there. Oh, I guess that would be the moon mirror. Considering now he's got out the other two divine moon objects. World will be reborn into the utopia that Emperor Diaz and I desire, huh? How are you going to make the world become reborn? Oh, wait a minute. What do they normally do when they say they're going to fix or the world will be reborn in, any movie, TV series, game, anime, whatever? Usually everything dies first, doesn't it? That's not a very good idea. Okay. So, yeah, evolution is a good thing. We understand this. And so everything is going according to plan, apparently. God's plan at this point. Humans are the 106th species. And they are 107th. Oh. This is kind of confusing the way he's putting it. It is not really evolution that he's referring to. Basically, the idea is that, and we've seen the video on this, the tree, the divine tree, gives birth to 108 fruits. And these fruits all become different creatures on the planet. The 106th creature that emerged forth happened to be humans. 107th happened to be winglings. That doesn't mean that winglings are an evolution of humans, just like, say, dragons are a little while back in this evolutionary chain, so-called. That doesn't mean that humans are an evolved form of dragons. It doesn't work that way. But we'll go with it. You desire utopia created for the final species. But you're not even part of that species, so that would kill off you as well. Is that all you're going to say? You're going to let your sword say the rest. And here we go. We finally get to face off a legitimate fight, against Lloyd. We haven't fought this guy since the tournament where Dart had a solo attempt on him. I didn't bother to build up Dragoon levels because it really doesn't matter. First things first, though, speed down. Lloyd is very fast. Not as fast as Lennis is when she's gone psycho, but he is definitely very fast. Other thing we want to do is we want to use Power Up on Albert. Now, this will depend on who's in your party and who has the highest strength, because he's not very susceptible to magic, no more than, an average enemy would be, which isn't all that much. It's just the bosses that for some reason seem to have crap for magic defense. So you want to build up your attack power so that you can take off as much of his 7,000 HP as you possibly can, because he is not a pushover. And on top of that, Flower Storm, yet he says Blossom Storm. That was the point I was trying to make before. Now, it might benefit you to guard with everyone on the first turn, because he tends to use this attack, and I was kind of hoping he wouldn't, but oh well. This is his super powered attack everyone attack, and it's not fun. Now, he will use this quite a bit in the fight, though how much he uses it is entirely down to luck. Oddly enough, a lot of the boss fights in this game can change on a whim based on luck. You can have a boss that uses instant death on you and, can use instant death. One time you'll fight him and it'll use it, 5-6 times over, say, a 10-15 minute boss fight. And then the next time you fight him, he might use it once or not at all. So now that we've got that set up, we want to use Speed Up on Albert to get him some more turns. Yeah, so like I said, he does quite a bit of damage with that, and he is quite fast. This is another one of those fights where Dragoons can freeze up the emulator. This one is specifically designed to the emulator. Coming into this room is a glitch that is known to both the emulator and the console. Or the console version, I guess. So yeah, we want to do quite a bit of damage to this guy relatively fast. He's got decent evade, but he can't counter your attacks. So you don't have to worry about that. This is known as the Dragon Ball attack, or the Divine Dragon Ball attack, even though it never says anything. That hurts. Not as bad as his other attack, but it does hurt. Aww, I missed one of my turns. That's no fun. I had Power Up on. Meru, let's have you guard for now. You with your speed, that'll definitely help. Unfortunately, this fight is going to take a little longer because Albert happened to miss. If he didn't miss, we do 3,000 damage with him in 3 turns, and it makes the boss fight go by quite a bit faster. And I'm glad I was guarding for that, because otherwise that would have done a lot more damage. It's kind of unfortunate that he missed. I was a lot luckier in my test run against this guy, yesterday. See, now he won't do nearly as much damage. So let's just continue to pound on him. There's not a lot else you can do in this fight. You are probably going to need to heal at some point in this battle. Like you can see, Dart's not doing a great amount of damage. I'm going to have Meru heal one more time, or guard one more time, and hopefully, okay, you're going to target Albert. That's okay. He's got better physical defense. That shouldn't hurt too much. Ow! Some of his physical attacks seem to be partially magic-based and partially physically based, because he seems to do about the same amount of damage to everyone with most of his attacks. It's kind of odd, actually. The ideal party for this fight would probably include, based on the levels that I have, probably Rose and Albert, but Meru and Albert are the lowest levels, so they get to go in. And yeah, let's use Cool Boogie. Yeah, Cool Boogie, not too great on the damage, but it does give you a lot of SP. And here comes some more death. Oh, please not an ice attack, please not an ice attack. That's a light attack. That also does a lot of damage to everyone, actually, if I remember correctly. Ouch. Alright, let's, yeah, let's use some healing. Yeah, attack items, not great against them, so let's use a healing breeze, heal up, and see if we can get some more damage in on this guy. Yeah, this is one of the fights where you pretty much don't have a choice. Unless you get really lucky, you're gonna need to heal. That's not helpful. Why don't you attack somebody else? Why don't you attack, you know, Dart? He's got full HP. Or Meru, for that matter. So yeah, there's not really much else to say about this fight. There is an alternate strategy that I will show off briefly, but I'm not going to show a full fight with it because it's kind of cheesy, more so than me destroying bosses, you know, very quickly, just making use of the abilities that I have. This one's, the one I'm talking about in this fight, kind of abuses the AI a little bit. So yeah, I'll show it off briefly, but I'm not going to show a whole long thing on it. Ow! I think you're going to need a healing fog. Yeah, sometimes he goes into pissy boss mode and uses a lot of attacks at once, but he's nowhere near as bad as Lennis. He just does more damage than Lennis does, by quite a bit. So yeah, let's use a healing fog on Albert, heal him back up, and we should be in a good enough place where we can try and finish him off. Yeah, Moonstrike isn't actually the easiest to do. It's more so based on where the counters take place on that edition. No! Albert's final edition there that he's on, Blossom Storm or Flower Storm. I'll usually call it Blossom Storm because that's what he says. So, yeah, that one, it can be countered, but I think it's only in 2 spots that it can be countered, which isn't a big deal. So like I said, you know, well, I'll go over that in the extra part that I show off the strategy with, because that appeals more to them. Anyway, disregard that statement, that was gibberish. Alright, should be pretty much dead now. This is much longer of a boss fight than I really wanted to show off, but unfortunately Albert, he missed. And that really makes the boss fight take a lot longer if you miss when you're using power-up. Well, at least that shouldn't do too much to Albert. Yeah, that's not bad. Alright, let's finish him off. One more. Finish him! Can I finish him? Nope. Okay, fine. One more attack. This is that long one. I'm going to fast forward through this. This takes forever. Let's just find out how much damage he's done to me, and hopefully he hasn't killed anybody. Yeah, you want to keep your HP pretty high in this fight because he can deal a lot of damage, as we've seen multiple times, and ow, that hurt. Okay, stop it! He does his multiple attacks a lot more often when he's low on HP, so yeah, guard, please. Probably should have just used a healing breeze, but he's almost dead. I don't want to waste another one. Not that it's really a waste, it only costs 50 gold anyway. There we go. And we still miss him. We can't even execute the finishing blow properly. Though we do have epic music. Dart? Okay, we already saw the miss. Are you trying again, or is that the first one? Game? Hello? Uh-oh, his sword's glowing purple. well, not glowing, but it has a purple, what is that, a trail or a, I can't remember. There's like a Photoshop animated technical term for it, but it's escaping me. Wink? How do you teleport here? Oh, I guess you kind of walked up there, kind of like we did through that teleporter pad. Wink, what are you doing? Why would you do that? You watched what he did. He kidnapped the queen. Threatened everyone. Why would you do that? Yeah, there's no drop for this fight, so yeah, just a very large amount of experience and some level ups. Got quite a few bosses kind of in sequence here, over the last few hours, well, few hour and a half or so of gameplay. So yeah, we're starting to get some good experience and get a few levels all at once, which is very helpful for characters like Meru and Hashel who still haven't learned their final edition by level. Their final edition is only learned by maxing out their other ones. Albert really should be upstairs, mainly because of that, but, to get back his moon gem as well. He will bring us the right answer. Well, everyone has faith in Dart, huh? Well, I guess that's always a good thing. Gotta have faith in the leader. Though, why is it always the mercenary that's the leader? Wouldn't you think that that would be the least likely person to be the hero? Yeah, why did you do that? And we've seen you do it. Very much so. Yeah, so that explains over time, I guess he had a plan from the beginning why he continued to save Wink. And considering he was kind of in part responsible for what the Garrett gang was doing and the fact that he took them out, they obviously didn't know he was involved, but he may have dropped the the hint to Lennis to sick them onto Wink, or they just happened to be there. It could have been circumstance as well. So yeah, even if anything was planned or whatever, you still saved my life, so I will sacrifice it for you. Wait, what? Shauna was taken. By who? All the bad guys we know are either dead or here. Who would have taken her? Oh. The guy who hasn't done anything yet, but still has had a lot of power behind the scenes. Come to Velweb. Well, that's interesting. Lloyd, what are you doing? So even Lloyd, who turned other people into pawns along the way, was in turn pretty much a pawn in and of himself. Yeah, he completed his tasks for Emperor Diaz. Now, he may have, shared Emperor Diaz's belief. It wasn't like Lennis, where she was just infatuated with, Lloyd himself, and that's why she was helping him. In this case, it looks like Lloyd was on much more of a even playing field with the person he was working for. Huh. It's not the same character that we've come to experience over the last little while. Dart. What about your revenge? Your entire character is built around revenge. Revenge against the Black Monster, revenge against Lloyd. Well, that's true, but What about revenge? We always have to get a revenge. It's like a requirement of a JRPG. Someone has to get revenge. Ah, you're gonna make him watch as we destroy his master. Passion? What are you talking about, Lloyd? Yeah, for the most part. That and the desire to stay alive. That drives a lot of humans. And I would assume winglings as well. It's kind of like a universal trait of anything that's alive. You fight to stay alive. And of course, Dart explains through the fade to black. Gotta love that. At least we don't get to see the same information twice in, 3 minutes. That's very nice. Whoever he is dangerous. So yeah, Shauna has been captured again. I put a counter gag on there, but it's really not that bad in this case because the times that she's been taken, she has driven the plot, but at least in this case, even if she wasn't taken, we'd be going there anyway. We have to take on Emperor Diaz now because he was, the mastermind behind what Lloyd was up to. We were going to do that anyway. Taking Shauna doesn't really motivate us to go do something like it did the first time she was kidnapped at the start of the game. Are you going to be the one kicking his ass, Meru? I could see that. Scrawny little girl beating up an emperor. That'd be funny. We need the moon. What? Ah, would you look at that? And I don't think we have to ask for the moon, what was it? The moon gem that is Albert's. And I don't think we're going to go back to, the Tiburon Kingdom, Fletz, and ask them for permission. I think we're just going to take it in this case. All species were given life by God's will. Yeah, pretty much. I like how they give the god of the game, a name, and they don't just, it's like, oh, it doesn't sound like it's preachy too much. There's a little bit, like some of the NPCs sound a little preachy, but for the most part, the game, the story in itself doesn't preach at you with this, god character. So I like the way they've done it. They've kind of balanced it out in an acceptable way. So that's nice. It's never a good thing when the game starts preaching at you too much. They did that in Final Fantasy X a lot. Can't remember what other games they did that in. Meh, whatever. Well, if we were manipulated by fate, then fate would be in all capitals and this would be a different game. Haha! I love making Chrono Cross references because that game, well, it's not the best game in the world. It has an awesome soundtrack which makes me raise the level that I would give the game, in say on a scale or whatever. It goes way up from that soundtrack. And of course, Miranda's going to continue to go with us. There's almost no doubt at this point that she is going to be Shauna's replacement until we can manage to get her back, and maybe beyond then, who knows. But that's pretty much all the time I have for this episode of Let's Play Legend of Dragoon. Next time, we will be taking a little trip backward through time and trying to face Lloyd briefly with a different strategy this time. Other than that, we will be continuing on. Why did you save Link, anyway? No reason for doing that. Well, that's kind of contradictory to what you said before. You said that you used her, which is basically what you did. You saved her in order to have, a way into the castle. Not that you really needed it, by the way, but maybe he had another reason for doing it. Who knows? Anyway, that's all for this episode, and I'll see you guys next time.